Hi everyone, it's great to see you. Today we have a really big project to do, and that is to plant up the deck railing planters. So last year was the first year that I planted these up. I did each planter differently and love them, but I started them back in June when I did it last year, and here we are almost the end of August. But we're really fortunate. We're hosting a small event next month, and I want the deck to look really beautiful. So I thought, you know what? Let's sort of get these deck planters all planted up so that we have some interest in this late summertime. And I went to one of our local nurseries and found all these beautiful flowers. Don't they just look so happy here? Oh my goodness, I love them all clumped together. So I'm going to try to plant the deck planters up pretty consistently. I have 6 of them, and I'm going to be using sort of a purple theme here. The first flower that I'm putting in is the Campfire Marshmallow Biden, and I have never grown this before, but I've seen a lot of the YouTubers growing this year, and it really has kept a nice flow of white flowers throughout the summer. It is supposed to go into the fall, so I'm hoping that this will keep going for the next month. I think they look really cute and pretty here. They'll also sort of lighten up the purple by having that element of white. I picked up some more lemon coral sedum because you can't go wrong with lemon coral sedum. And some more of the new Supertunia Tiara Blues. Now, I did go through last night and spray all of these with BT to protect them from budworms. I am finding that if I put one of these in the yard without spraying them, 2 weeks later, it is literally just stems. They get eaten so quickly here. So it's really important for me. That is the one thing spray-wise that I'm doing, is every week BT for the petunias. I didn't have a full tray of those, but they had only one Supertunia latte, which I have not seen anywhere else. And isn't this cool? It sort of has this brown purple center to it. It looks fallish to me. So one of the planters will have one of those. And then I picked up a type of Artemisia, which is just so pretty for that blue piece. This is the Proven Accents Silver Bullet. So we'll have another one that's a little different with one of those. So we're keeping them pretty consistent with a couple little variations. And then I picked up a bunch of kale. So this particular type of kale, it's a flowering kale. It's called Nagoya Red, and it has this purple tinge to it. Now, I have had great luck with cabbages and kales going all the way through Thanksgiving, November, and I want something in here that's going to continue to lend that color, but I don't have to worry about it as it starts to get cold. And then I picked up a few of these, and aren't these adorable? So this is an ornamental pepper. This one is called Calico. I'm assuming because the leaves are variegated, much like a calico cat would be variegated in color. And it right now has a lot of little purple blossoms and just a few little purple peppers set on. But it will get more purple peppers as we go through the next month, and also just a great look for this. So under the table, I don't know if you can see it or not, but we have some Creeping Jenny, which is the same color as this lemon coral sedum. So I'm gonna have these 2 real pops of chartreuse green that offset these darker foliage plants. And I'm hoping that that juxtaposition of the real bright against the real dark foliage also looks really, really good going into the fall. I'm going to show you myself planting up one of these more closely, and then I'm just going to do the rest and show you the end result. Here I am over by the deck planters now. These I had picked up at a garden center last year. You can see that they're made to fit different size railings, and they just slip right over the top. I found they were really sturdy. I've already filled these with new potting mix and sprinkled Biotone on the top. And the Biotone fertilizer is great because this is a new planting. We're getting them going. In the next month, I want these roots to really take hold. Now, my vision for these is to have them be taller in the center and then get shorter. So I wanted to keep that in mind as I placed the plants along with the color choices. So I have my two trailers, the Creeping Jenny and the lemon coral sedum on the ends because these don't really get tall at all. They're short and then they just cascade. Then I have my two flower choices and two of the kales here. So the kale is going to be right next to that chartreuse, so it really has that contrast in color. And then in the center, I'm going to have that nice tall ornamental pepper. Now, I have found that ornamental peppers do really, really well for me. They are so pretty. They give that fall color that I think so often we're looking for as the regular annuals sort of wind down. You can be growing, of course, your regular edible peppers too at this point, and that would be great. Now I'm going to sort of tilt my kale out towards the edges because I know that the pepper plant is going to be filling in behind it, and I want people to see these the best that they can. In fact, I tend to do that with the flowers too. I'm going to sort of just plant them with a little tilt towards the side, and then the center piece here is the only one that I'm not really going to be tilting. I'm going to actually put that right smack dab in the center. I know that it's going to get big enough that it sort of pokes through in every direction. Oh, these look so, so pretty. And I think that purple, you know, I'm a purple and pink person, but that purple color really does blend nicely with a lot of the fall colors that you see coming. So I think it's a great choice. Now, if your kale looks like this and it has a few pieces that are kind of, you know, looking a little worse for wear, feel free just to pick those right off. Always fine to groom your plants so that they're looking their very best. Oh, and this is so pretty. Now, sometimes you can luck out and find like a 6-pack of cabbage or kale, and I highly recommend if you see those like at Home Depot or one of the nurseries you're at, a 6-pack is great because they're going to come smaller, but then you can still there's still plenty of time for them to grow in the season, and usually you can get a really good deal that way, and you can't have too many cabbages and kales. Okay, here we go. Now, there's still room in between all of these, but because I'm giving this a good month before I plan to show it off, I feel like we're going to have time to fill this in. I'm going to go ahead now and plant up the others, and I'll show you how it all looks when they're done. get done and you're just like, oh, that is just what I was hoping for. That is how I feel about these. This is just a big change for the deck. I know that I'm going to get so much pleasure looking out the windows to see these. I'm thrilled. So let me give you an update on exactly what I did in all of these. 4 of them have our ornamental peppers in the center. They didn't have enough ornamental peppers for all of them, so I changed up the 2 ends a little bit. In one of the ends, I have that latte petunia instead, which is wonderful. And I put the artemisia in the center there so that that'll give some height, some contrast. In the other one, I added in a couple extra of the Bidens to sort of fill it out. And in the center, I put the kale for that one. So although it's pretty uniform through all of them, they do have some subtle changes. I also had a couple extra of the Bidens, and where there was one that looked maybe not quite as full as the others, there's 2 Bidens here. You know, I think that that's absolutely fine. To tell you the truth, nobody's really going to notice whether it's one of the flowers I planted or 2 I nestled together. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing this and that you get some inspiration as we approach the fall. There are still a lot of really great projects out there that we can add to our garden. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.